Sudan a wise, magnificent example with integrity and dedication. Those are the words of President William Ruto while mourning the late Chief of Defence Forces, General Francis Ogolla, while he held the gathering in marking a moment of silence at the pass-out parade of Kenya Defence Forces officers at the Defence Officers Recruit Training School in Eldoret, Uasin Gishu County. Mwege William with more.
As the saying goes, a general never dies. At the Defence Forces Recruit Training School in Eldoret, Wednesday, during the pass-out parade of Kenya Defence Forces officers, President William Ruto posed his speech to lead the gathering in a moment of silence in memory of the late Chief of Defence Forces, General Francis Ogolla.
His legacy will continue to inspire many. Please, let us stand for a moment of silence to honor his memory and the lives of those lost alongside him.
During the president's speech, showered the late general with praise of his immense contribution while at the helm of the Kenya Defence Forces until his untimely death, together with other military officers who passed on following a helicopter crash. Ruto stating that the country still mourns the death of the military personnel.
Ogolla's wise leadership, magnificent example, integrity and dedication exemplified the best of Kenyan professionalism, representing the KDF at its finest.
While commending the Defence Forces Recruit Training School community for the exemplary work in educating, training soldiers and equipping them with necessary knowledge and skills, President Ruto urged members of the forces to exude the best of professionalism while keeping Kenya's land, water and air territories safe, further directing in collaboration with the Ministry of Environment for the KDF to achieve the 15 billion tree planting programs.
This campaign is a cornerstone of our national strategy to combat climate change and enhance our environmental resilience, thereby promoting overall security for our people, their properties and livelihoods.
The president assured KDF officers the government's unwavering support and commitment to the continuous enhancement of their capabilities and the promotion of their welfare to ensure that they are well equipped to meet current and emerging challenges. Mwege William, TV 47.
Meanwhile, new reports indicate that more than 50 Kenyans have contracted cholera due to the ongoing floods. Now, the Ministry of Health has now launched a health emergency preparedness response and resilience project for eastern and southern counties in the wake of the ongoing impact of climate change. Our health reporter Elizabeth Atieno now tells us more.
The floods have in no doubt threatened both lives and livelihoods. The health sector has not been spared from the adverse impacts of climate change. And now, the Ministry of Health has raised an alarm over the rising cases of cholera in the country.
Ladies and gentlemen, infectious diseases remain a serious health challenge across Africa, and particularly the Eastern and Southern African region. We have frequent outbreaks. Even as a country now, this morning I had a brief, we have about 56 cases of cholera. So we have frequent outbreaks of Ebola, Marburg, yellow fever, and chikungunya in the recent years. And these outbreaks continue to exert pressure on our health systems.
The unprecedented flooding that has greatly impacted infrastructure has prevented millions of people from accessing health services.
Where we formed the multi-agency team, the national team that is coordinating the emergency, and that's why we are calling upon the development partners who are able to support the country. We have, for example, AMREF, we have Red Cross. They have all gone down to Tana River and we are supporting them. We are making sure that we are able to provide medication.
Health CS Susan Akumicha has expressed the urgent need for enhanced public health emergency response measures in light of the ongoing floods.
Besides this, our health facilities have been destroyed, and all the critical infrastructure that was in place in these facilities has been cut off.
On Wednesday, the Ministry of Health unveiled the Health Emergency Preparedness Response and Resilience Project for Eastern and Southern African countries. This initiative is said to be crucial in fostering regional collaboration to enhance health security. Elizabeth Atieno, TV 47, Nairobi.
And flood victims in Homa Bay County have now spoken on the experience with the floods that caused deaths and destructions. They were speaking during the requiem of 4 people who lost their lives to the dangerous flood waters. The residents want the government to intervene and help them in getting their lives back in order. The floods that ravaged the country disoriented a number of people, with some being forced to vacate their homes for fear of being swept away with the floods.
Mimi nikaacha kwa varanda, wengine nikawaambia ingia kwa nyumba. Mvua ikanyesha kidogo, nikasikia kwa milima tu.
Survivors narrating the ordeals.
Ile kwa milima nikaona moshi ile ambao ni nyekundu zaidi wewe siona tena. Sasa saa kidogo nikasikia nyumba ikaanza kutingisa.
The horrifying details of their experiences still sending shivers down their spines. An experience both unbelievable and unforgettable.
We were 11 children. Out of 11, we are now remaining 8.
Some lost their family members to the floods that also left them homeless with no way to start over.
Ndio tukaona chini ile ora imekuwa nyingi, ile flat imekuwa nyingi, ikapeleka manyumba yote. Sasa uzuri ilikuwa mchana. Watu wengi hawakuwa kwa nyumba, wale wachache ambao walikuwa kwa nyumba wakasikia ngurumo wakatoroka.
Hopefully their cries will be heard and help will come to them.
Now under pressure, we don't know where to start and where we might end.
The floods that were brought about by the heavy rains that continued to pound the country for weeks caused havoc countrywide, with the government urging its citizens to stay alert and safe. Vera Alberta, TV47.
To education matters now, junior school teachers from Baringo County are up in arms of alleged neglect from the Teacher Service Commission, TSC. With the teachers incensed at what they say is TSC's move cold shoulder to their grievances. The JSS teachers currently on intern status wish to be employed in permanent and pensionable terms. GOtv reports Homes for Fear.
The statement that I saw yesterday from the Teacher Service Commission is a big joke.
It is the outcry of junior secondary school teachers, accusing the Teacher Service Commission of laxity in taking a look at the issues affecting the teachers.
We expect it to give us a statement on how it is rolling out our employment program into PNP terms.
Addressing the media during peaceful demonstration, they have emphasized the Commission's obligation to comply with court orders regarding their payments and allowances.
TSC must respect the court orders. 2, we are saying that we need confirmation. And 3, we are saying TSC to compensate us. The court spoke very well in its judgment, and it says that JSS teachers must be compensated and confirmed immediately.
What other experience does TSC want us to have? What experience don't we have that the 2021 graduates have? We want to ask TSC to be honest and truthful.
The most affected teachers are junior secondary school interns who on a monthly basis receives a stipend of 17,000, which they claim it is not even enough to meet their basic needs.
We cannot allow our JSS teachers to go to school when they are earning 17,000 shillings. 17,000 shillings in Lokumkum Primary School in Baringo cannot even make to be enough for transport alone. I want to ask the government, what type of internship is this? You are having a teacher in internship and you are saying that we are trying to train them to be good teachers. And yet you have given a permanent job to somebody who finished last year.
Additionally, they have demanded their employment to be conducted in accordance with the Constitution, advocating for permanent employment and pensionable terms, failure to which they will continue being on the streets till their demands are met.
Why don't you allow that one to go for internship and put on permanent those who are internship?
Correct.
What are you doing about it? You are very busy going to pass bills in Parliament, and yet you have people who are earning 17,000.
The teachers' demonstrations have been ongoing for the last 1 week, where teachers in JSS have been complaining of poor pay and poor working conditions. Ruga Ival, TV47.
Into some diplomacy now. Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi has set the record straight on reports that Kenyans were detained in Kinshasa over serious cross-border crime allegations. Specifically, PSC Musalia maintains that Kenyan nationals were neither involved in money laundering nor transportation of illegal goods, distancing Kenya's national carrier Kenya Airways over such allegations. Musalia further revealed that the two nations are out to mend the relations between the nations ahead of a slated visit. Speaking while appearing before the National Assembly Defense Committee to defend the budget estimates for the financial year 2024-2025, as well as supplementary budgets, Mudavadi told the committee that they require more funds, especially on the geopolitics surrounding the AUC lobbying. However, MPs raised questions on the 1.2 billion shillings pending bills in the ministry.
They are not incarcerated anymore. They were released, and I was in Kinshasa a few days ago as a special envoy of President Ruto. I delivered that special message. We had a conversation with all the authorities, including the President Tshisekedi, and the team is no longer incarcerated. We also then went further to make sure that we normalize our relations with DRC. So we expect a state visit from the head of state of DRC, which he acceded to, and he'll give the dates, so that we amplify the role that Kenya is playing in the region to secure the peace and stability broadly. The geopolitics is such that things are very serious around us, and we will need a lot of intervention at all levels, and most critically from Parliament, which allocates resources.
President William Ruto has defended his administration's move to impose additional taxes on Kenyans, saying it's the only way to get the country out of debt. The president's statement comes in the backdrop of nationwide criticism of the Finance Bill 2024, which proposes additional taxes on bread and motor vehicle tax, among other items in Kenya Kwanza revenue-raising measures, as George Maringa tells us.
Think about the future.
Brace yourselves for more taxes if the recent remarks by President William Ruto at a meeting in State House, Nairobi, are anything to go by.
If we are a serious state, we must be able to enhance our taxes.
For a president who has been vocal about his stand on taxes, Ruto was quick to enumerate the same during a meeting with a team from the American Harvard University. The head of state further says he intends to raise the country's average tax rate from 14% to 16% by the end of 2024.
My drive is to push Kenya. Possibly this year we will be at 16%. From 14%. I want in my term, God willing, to leave it at between 20 and 22%.
The latest push for more taxes came barely a week after the introduction of the proposed Finance Bill 2024.
It's going to be difficult. I have a lot of explaining to do. People will complain, but I know finally they will appreciate that the money we go to borrow from the World Bank is savings of other countries. We have to begin to live within our means.
The Finance Bill 2024 was published on May 9th and is due to be subjected to public participation afterwards. The bill contains tax proposals that the Kenya Kwanza government intends to use to raise revenue and finance its ambitious projects.
If we look at our peers, and Kenyans have been socialized to believe that they pay the highest taxes. But empirical data shows Kenya as of last year, our tax as a percentage of our revenues was 14%. Our peers in the continent is on average between 22 and 25%.
Among the proposals is the introduction of a motor vehicle tax with a rate of 2.5% of the vehicle's value. The minimum tax payable to the taxman on each vehicle at the time of issuance of insurance cover will be 5,000 shillings with a maximum amount of 100,000 Kenya shillings. The bill further states that the calculation would be based on make, model, engine capacity and year of manufacture. George Maringa, TV47, Nairobi.
To politics now, and Azimio principal and Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka has threatened to call for mass protests if the Finance Bill 2024 becomes law. Kalonzo, while addressing an Azimio Coalition Parliamentary Group Forum, said the coalition is ready and willing to return to the streets over the bill that has proposed to add 16% value-added tax on bread, additional taxes on mobile money transfers, airtime, data, and motor vehicle circulation tax.
It has been agreed.
In what could coincide with the anniversary of last year's protests over the Finance Bill 2023, the opposition Azimio could soon hit the streets to protest the Finance Bill 2024 if it becomes law. During a coalition parliamentary group meeting to take stock of the coalition performance and the way forward on key national matters in Parliament, Kalonzo told the coalition supporters to brace for protests.
As a coalition, we are ready to go back to the streets if that is what it takes. And I hope you're bold enough. I hope you're bold enough if they now go and cause aggression again on public participation. And you know, if you feel a little weak spiritually, that you don't think you can withstand another round of demonstrations, then go eat something strong. We need you. We need you, and this country needs you.
During the PG meeting that also issued a 2 to 6 month ultimatum on the implementation of the remaining bills from the NADCO report, Azimio called out Kenya Kwanza for burdening Kenyans with high taxes, an abuse of the NADCO dialogue process, which committed to lower the cost of living.
His Excellency Kalonzo said it rightfully. This nation can only be changed if there are demonstrations, no negotiations. We need to swing and stop singing.
In the proposals that have triggered anger among Kenyans, Treasury proposes a 16% VAT on bread, which if approved, will increase the price of bread from the current 65 shillings to 75 shillings. Also causing controversy are new levies on mobile money transfers, airtime, and data. Another controversial tax, motor vehicle circulation tax, at a rate of 2.5% of the vehicle's value at the time of issuance of insurance cover.
Your only dreams are how to make life even more difficult for Kenyans. Which other areas can you impart some pain on Kenyans until you get to the place where you are thinking of imposing taxation on bread?
We start our revolutionary path on Friday, and we are starting it. It is actually our homegrown way of maandamano.
Azimio coalition leader Raila Odinga, who ruffled feathers in Mukuru over government response to floods, has taken a backseat in volatile politics to avoid jeopardizing his African Union chairmanship campaigns. Apul Kamau, TV47.
Right, thank you, Apollo Kamau, for that. And let me take a look at what you're saying, because earlier on the State of the Nation, Fred was discussing matters, the whole Limuru 3 meeting, which is expected to happen tomorrow in Limuru. And, well, interviewing Honorable Kioni as well as MP Embakasi North James Gakuya. And, well, you did share your thoughts on our Facebook page at TV47 KE, a couple of them, before we also, take a look at what this whole conversation and one of the biggest conversations that will make, subsequent bulletins for today. So taking a look at Wilson Gitau says, I support it full if they're going to help the peoples who are affected by floods and landslide, especially at Kimende latest. So, well, basically just sharing your thoughts on the whole Limuru 3 meeting and what you really expect. Alvin Mwangi says, yes, very. Until Kioni got the verse for it. Okay, the whole conversation that, Kioni was looking for the verse. Micah chapter 6, I wish to read it in both English and Kikuyu. Okay. Mr. Chairman, Sir J. Thiani says, 100%. This government is becoming useless. More pain is that it is imposing more taxes to kill Mount Kenya, which is 99% business zone. Hawataki Mount Kenya mazuri, imefika ule wakati wa Biblia njooni tusemezane as Mount Kenya region. That is according to Mr. Chairman Sir J. Thianie on Facebook. Ogura Steve J says, I don't. The meeting is for inciting Mount Kenya. We are in peaceful land. The organizers are very well known. They are characters. According to Ogura there, let me take a look at Joshua Mulandi. Yes, we support the meeting. Solomon Geta says 100%. And P. John Kiari says, who is the chairman of this meeting? Ama ni Wanguku. That and much more. Keep talking to us on our socials even as we anticipate and unpack the Limuru 3 meeting for you. Why, as a viewer and why, as a Kenyan, does it matter for you? The kind of conversations that will be held in this particular meeting on the same. That and much more coming up in our subsequent bulletins. But right now, though, take out your sporting shoes because you're getting into some aerobics. You definitely want to get into that and just sort of dance and have your body looking all amazing this particular Thursday. It's a whole Friday Junior, so we definitely need that. Into some aerobics now. This is Morning Cafe Music.